Hey there, matchmakers. Welcome back to another training session with Cupid. I am Ken, the CEO and founder of Cupid. Today's training session is going to be step 3, how to use the directory on Cupid. So this is after you've already become a matchmaker and you've already started growing your network, so inviting people to Cupid. Now we're going to talk about using the actual directory. So a couple of things to learn here. First off, you'll find the directory in this magnifying glass, and you'll see that we have about 100 singles right now, which we are a very new network. So you'll see that like some of these are filled out profiles. It seems like a lot of folks are joining right now. Their profiles will actually show gray like this as they're creating their profile, and then once it's done, it'll be filled out. But first off, let's go ahead and start with filters. So in our filters, when you're filtering for your clients, you can filter based on location. You can filter a distance from this location. So let's say your client is in New York City. You might type in New York City. You might type in 100 miles or radius or 50-mile radius, whatever's convenient for your client or your prospective client. You might want to base it off ethnicity. Maybe your client has a preference of people they do or do not want to meet, or they specifically like a certain kind of person. You might want to do it off sexuality. So maybe your client is only interested in meeting straight people, or they're open to meeting, other sexualities as well. Also, family plans, and finally, gender, female, male, non-binary, and whatnot. Let's go ahead and just play around though. So we'll just do male. How about we do like 25 to like, let's say 70 years old. Cool. So we'll go ahead and apply that filter. Now we can see a whole bunch of singles on the platform. So let's just go to the very top. We'll just look at a new one. So let's go see some other folks. Who would we like to get some information on? Oh, there's so many folks on here. I'm trying to figure out one. Let's see. Mr. Colton. Great. So Colton has some questions. So on Colton's profile, a couple of things to see here. Number one, there's 3 buttons at the top. This is the gallery button, the first look button, and then the chat button. Now, if we click gallery, we can go through and see all of Colton's different photos. And so you can get a pretty good understanding of like who he is. So we'll pop right back to the directory and click Colton again. We can also use this tool. So because I'm a matchmaker on Cupid and I have a client, I'm able to send Colton's profile to my client. Now, this is the core dating experience of Cupid. When we talk about Cupid as your job as a matchmaker, there's search, screen, and select. To search, it's to do it on Cupid and off Cupid. So you're going to find people on Cupid to match with. Also invite folks to Cupid to grow your network and help find more options for your client. Screen is what we're going to talk about next, but this is the selection process. So once we finally select, we're going to send a potential match to our client. Now, what happens here? Colton, the single that we're looking at, has no idea this is going on, right? Only our client receives Colton's profile. And of course, because our client pays us, they get to decide first. They get to rate and review this person, and then they send you 2 pieces of really unique information. So there's 4 questions on the rating system. Yes or no, do you want to meet this person? If your client says yes, goes to the next step. Then it's a 1 to 5 star rating. How well did your match do? Like how well as you as a matchmaker did you match what your client wants? Then there's 2 questions that are exclusive to the matchmaker. By the way, this rating information is never shared with either party. So it's really just for your benefit, for you to become a better matchmaker. So the next 2 questions are, what do you like and what do you not like about this match? So if I send it to my client, Jeff, Jeff might love his hair color, love that he fishes, love that aspect, but then doesn't like that he drives a gas-powered vehicle and he really wants him to drive an electric car. Who knows, right? But at least as a matchmaker, ending my process, remember, search, screen, select, right? On the selection process, I simply type in here, hey there, Jeff, I think this guy might be a good fit for you. What do you think? So remember, as matchmakers, we need to screen this person first. So we're doing it a little bit backwards here, and I'm not going to send this to Jeff. Obviously, he's a real client. But coming back to these buttons. So remember, galleries to see all his photos. First look is to send this to our client. Obviously, we need clients. If you click this and you don't have a client, something blank will show up here. But then finally, chat. I'm not going to click this right now because I don't need to chat with Colton, but you can just click this to have a direct conversation. Looking around, you can also click these buttons. Now, they're pretty slow filtering through photos, so sometimes just have a little patience. And the swipe function doesn't work yet. So we're a new company. A lot of our tech is really new, so just be patient with us. You can also get all of Colton's specific information here. So you can see he's male, straight, 26 years old, 5'7", interested in finding women, wants children, blah, blah, blah. All kinds of things to really help you start screening him and see, is he going to be a good fit for your client? Next, as you can see, Bethany has done here, Bethany has started the screening process. So how that's done is you'll see these 4 little buttons here this is your matchmaker buttons, your matchmaker toolkit. And number 1 is the question mark. And so here you are screening, and it says on Cupid, matchmakers screen matches for their clients with questions. So we can ask Colton a question. Let's actually do it right now. Let's say something along the lines of, Colton, are you specific in your interests of how tall your partner is? Colton's a little on the shorter side. And the nice thing about this is I'm trying to phrase it in like a kind way, but also being honest. You know, our job as matchmakers is to not set up our client with someone who doesn't make sense for them, right? So if my client is a 6'2" woman and Colton is a 5'7" man, one of the many things that I can do for my client is just verify, hey, like maybe they'd be a really good fit on paper, but like Colton's not into that, or vice versa. So this question is sent to Colton. He gets a push notification on his phone, and now he's going to answer the screening question. But as a matchmaker, we have 2 more tools here. We have the little edit button. So maybe I felt like this was like a little weird, right? So let's kind of change this a little bit, and I say something along the lines of, Colton, I see your profile says you want kids. Are you partial to how many or what gender? Why not, right? Who knows? But then the last piece is, let's say I actually scroll down and I say, oops, oh my gosh, Colton's already answered a question that was pretty similar to this. Or I just don't feel good about my question anymore. I'm like, it's not really a good fit for my client anyway. Let's just get rid of this. We can hit that little trash can and get rid of this question. So we're actually not going to be screening him anymore. More things that are useful here. So you see this little checklist here. This is your tasks. So you can click this to toggle it on or off. And then you can add a task for yourself. And we're going to get into tasks when we talk about the business suite next. But let's just go ahead and start now. So I might say, follow up. Jackie might love him, right? Let's say Colton doesn't get back to me, so I want to actually follow up. I'm going to set it on my schedule for the 24th. I'm going to say, you know, I know myself, I like to work in the evening, so I'm going to say 7:30 p.m. Possible match for Jackie, who's not currently a client. Obviously, would have the related user, which is the person I already have attached to this, and I might put a priority on it. This is really small on your screen, but you can see I put it as critical. This is a really high priority issue. And if I press save, what's going to happen is this task will show up here, but even more importantly, it'll show up here on my task list. Now, I'm going to show you in a little bit about your tasks, how to find all of your tasks here. So right here is that show follow up with Jackie. But let's finish up with the directory. So we already went through tasks. Next is notes. So notes is just a private function. So I just might want to make a note about him and say, like, he hasn't answered screening questions, or maybe something like he missed a date or 2 dates in a row. This is specifically and privately for you. You can always go back to your business suite later to find this, but this is not shared with anyone. You can delete it. You can do whatever you'd like with it. It's really meant that if you were to go, like, let's say you scheduled a call with Colton, you have an easy way to record this information and keep it on him. So let's go ahead and hide that. The last piece is lists. So list is really interesting. We can go ahead and create a list here. So we can say our list will be something like Jackie, potential matches. And this is a client that I don't currently have, but I think I might get. Oh, I'm having trouble navigating that. Sorry. Sometimes there's little bugs. So I can add Colton's profile to this. But I can also add Colton's profile to like my favorite guys on the platform. Now, I'm going to do a little deeper training in a few minutes, a later video about your CRM and your business suite. But how we can find lists is come back here, and we'll be able to see the list of every single person we've ever looked through. We can remove Colton from this list. You know, we can save this list. We can create new lists. But this is really helpful. As the Cupid directory gets larger, you're going to have challenges keeping up with who you looked at and who you talked to. So that is the directory in a nutshell. It's probably going to be the core tool you use on Cupid So make sure you learn how to use it. And I will see you in our next video to learn a little bit more about the next training session. Thanks, guys.